So I'm on a coffee and water fast today because I saw my body fat percentage has crept up to 20%. I believe that for long-term health and vitality, if you will, for men, you should have your body fat percentage in the teens. I would suggest between 15%, 16%, something like that, depending on your body composition, because everybody's different. Depending on how your body is laid out, you may actually be naturally lighter in terms of body fat percentage. It's not so much weight, although plays a role in terms of your heart health, your cardio health, but it's more about body fat percentage. That's what I look at. I look at overall body fat percentage, I look at visceral fat, and I look at subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is the fat on the surface of your skin. My subcutaneous fat is around 17%, which is way too high. You see it. You could literally see it. Not good. It comes from eating carbs, breads, French fries, sweets, any sugars. And so how do you get rid of that subcutaneous fat? You want to get the fat down, like the subcutaneous fat, the fat that you see. That's the fat that looks really bad. It's not necessarily bad for you, but it just looks bad. The subcutaneous fat, that's the surface fat. You want to get that down, I would say, into the 15% range. Then you start looking good. Visceral fat is the fat within your body, around the organs and so forth, meshed into your muscle. You want to get that down like 7 or 8%. I'm at 8% now, maybe even lower would be better. It's all about health. The aesthetics plays a role, but I'm telling you, when I got my fat percentage lower, I feel much better, not psychologically, because I feel better because I'm looking better in the mirror, which you are, but it's much more about, it affects your whole system. So I know it's, these days, a lot of people are overweight, including myself, and it's just a new normal. It's not good, though. And why is that the case? So, for example, point number one, rather, when I was a young whippersnapper kid, when I was cousin Steph or nephew Steph, as opposed to current Uncle Steph, when I was cousin Steph back in the 70s, it was very rare that somebody was overweight. It was very rare, extremely rare. Maybe one person in an entire classroom would be overweight. There might be 2 or 3 fat kids in the school. These days, it's like 60% of people are overweight in North America. What has changed? It's diet. It's just what we eat, right? Number two, back in those days, in the 70s, there was cancer, but I think there was less. I think there's much less diabetes, much less all kinds of illnesses, mental illnesses. It was just much less. There could be multiple reasons for that, but I think a big part of it is just healthy habits or unhealthy habits that we've adopted today. So eat no sugars, any boxed food, get rid of it. You know, that sucks. Breads, bad for you. Pastries, bad for you. I'm not saying go to zero. I would say probably drop them by 90, 95%, and you'll start feeling better within a couple of weeks. It's pretty amazing. So what do you eat? Natural, unprocessed foods. Meat is very good for you, by the way. Butter, meat, vegetables, very good for you. Anything natural and unprocessed. Now, if you think about it from an evolutionary point of view, humans evolved as hunter-gatherers. For the vast majority of the human species life cycle, if you will, it's about 300,000 years, depending on who you talk to. We've only been farming for the last 5,000 years as a species. So that means a lot of that's when it started. But, not everybody started farming 5,000 years ago. It just started. So for the vast majority, for 99% of human existence, we were hunter-gatherers. What does that mean? We hunted an animal, ate, gorged, then probably didn't eat for a few days. That's how we survived. That's how we evolved. That's how we adapted over hundreds of thousands of years. So it's just in the last very short period of time in our evolutionary life cycle that we've done the farming and so on. Bread, very new invention. It's just, So I think a lot of the reasons we have these illnesses and so forth, and people are decrepit as they get older, is because of this poor diet, poor lifestyle. And it's not so much about eating a superfood. It's not so much about eating a superfood. It's much more about avoiding the bad foods. So don't go looking for supplements, in my opinion. Just avoid the bad foods, avoid the processed foods. So that also includes most oils, like canola oil and seed oils. They're all terrible for you. The only oils you should consume, if any, is virgin cold-pressed olive oil and cold-pressed virgin avocado oil. That's it. If all the seed oils, corn, whatever, you can come up with the Crisco's, all that's just poison. In fact, those oils were originally processed and invented to burn in lamps. So what happened is when electricity came about, all these companies that made all this oil for lamps, corn oil and seed oils and stuff, they said, what are we going to do? So they repurposed it for consumption. And they're so rancid in their production, apparently, that they have to hit them with tons of chemicals. So you don't want to touch that. You want to stick to oils that are natural, like olive oil. You squeeze, you get oil. Avocados, you squeeze, you get oils. Maybe coconut oil, I think, is another one that's pretty good. That's why when you eat out a lot, if they use the cheap oils and the Spam and stuff, you're going to feel like crap because you're literally ingesting poisons. So you want to avoid that stuff as much as possible. Yeah, so there you go. So get your body fat percentage into the teens. Implement intermittent fasting. This is what I'm doing now. Cut down by a lot carbs. Now it's hard because so much of our diet, if you will, if you go to the grocery store, it's all carbs and sugar. It's all processed foods, really bad. If you got nothing else to eat, okay, eat that. But so when you stop eating those type of foods, you're going to see your body, and you start drinking lots of water and just natural food, unprocessed foods, you find your body will start healing itself. And there you go. So yeah, that's my my vlog for today. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you hate my video, give me 2 thumbs down to show me how much you hate me. I'm Uncle Steph. I mentor people in everything that I know and have done. Just about. Everything I talk about, by the way, is based out of personal experience. I don't talk about things that I was just theoretical for me. I don't believe that's legitimate. So in terms of like getting healthy and weight loss, I've been through the ringer. I am now about 60 pounds lighter than I was at my height weight, my heaviest. So I know what it's like losing weight and cutting out and getting the body fat percentage down. I'm not claiming to be perfect. I'm far from it. But this is what I'm telling you now at my age, as I clean up my diet, as I incorporate a little bit more exercise, little micro high-intensity exercises throughout the day, like quick bursts of push-ups and so on. It has a huge impact. It's a huge impact. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.